Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV. We've got something fun and useful to check out today. This is a little device from Werewolf. It's called the VFLEX, and what it lets you do is turn any USB power supply, like this battery or something you might plug into a wall, into a universal power supply. So what I'm going to do here is connect up the VFLEX adapter to this battery. You can see it's lighting up green. I've got the right adapter installed on here, and I'm going to power an 80s vintage Atari 2600 using this USB-C battery. So if we flick the switch here, look at that. It's providing the proper voltage, and we are powering this Atari 2600 with this battery, but you could very easily use a smaller adapter like this for the wall or anything else that can deliver USB power. These are all programmable, so you can find the right voltage for your device, and they've got lots of adapters that go with them as well. So you can get everything up and running and turn any USB power supply into a universal one. This one's a lot of fun. You got to be careful with it, and we'll talk about that as we're working our way through the review here, but I think this might be useful to a lot of you. Now, I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that Werewolf sent this product to the channel free of charge. It's not very expensive. However, they did not review or approve what you're about to see before it was uploaded. All opinions are my own, and this is not a sponsored review. So let's get into it now and check out what these Werewolf devices are all about. Now, the price point on this is pretty reasonable. The base unit here is $8. This is what connects to your USB power source, and then you have to connect one of the power adapter cables to the base unit to plug it into the device that you're trying to power. They do have a starter kit here that's $48. It includes 3 base units along with cables for most popular devices here. Most of them, as you can see, are center positive. More on that in a minute. But of course, you can buy other adapter cables here. I do think they might be open to making different types of cables. I did send them a request for that Atari 2600 cable, and they were able to make it for me. This is a very small company, so I think there's some flexibility if you need it. And they also have an adapter cable that lets you make your own cables as well. So you've got some options here, but again, not all that expensive here to get started. Now, there is some configuration of these little base units. So what you do is plug it into a computer or a phone or a tablet. They have apps for Android and iOS, and then there's a web version, which I have up on my screen here, that will work with a computer. And when you connect it up, what you have to do is tell the device here what voltage you need, and that's where things can get a little dangerous, and you have to be very careful about making sure you're dialing in the correct voltage. This is no different, though, than maybe one of those universal AC adapters that Radio Shack used to sell with a dial where you would dial in the voltage. So in order to figure out what you need, the best thing you can do is look at the power adapter. So for example, the Atari that I just plugged into earlier, on its power adapter, it tells you everything that you need. 9 volts, DC, so if we go back to our screen here and just dial in 9 volts, the unit here will be programmed to do 9 volts of power when we boot it up next, and that will make the request of the power source to supply 9 volts, and then it will power the Atari. One other thing to note, though, is that you need to make sure the polarity is correct on the adapter cable that you're using. So for example, in the case of the Atari here, as you can see, the plus sign here on the right coming out of that center thing with the open circle, that indicates that this is a center positive power supply, and that is the polarity of the adapter that we need. And when you're shopping for the adapters on the Werewolf site, it'll tell you whether it is center positive or center negative, and that's really important. So both the voltage and the polarity are going to be important to know up front, because these devices may not be able to stop you from frying your electronics if you configure them incorrectly. So just do your homework and make sure you've got everything dialed in before you set up everything. But now that you have your voltage dialed in, it will remember that voltage setting inside of the little base unit here. So if I plug this into a power source, what will happen is we'll get a light to indicate whether or not we're getting the proper voltage. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, so we programmed this for 9 volts. I've got my USB power source here. If I connect this up, you will see it light up and then turn green, and that indicates it's getting 9 volts. If it isn't able to get 9 volts, it will light up red, and I do believe that it will cut power to whatever is connected. But again, you really need to be careful when you get all this stuff going. And then once everything is programmed, you just pick out the appropriate adapter and slide it into the base unit. They can only go in one way. You can see what the receptacle looks like here. And so all you do is just snap it into place, and then you can plug in the barrel connector to your device that needs to be powered. Now, as far as USB-C power sources are concerned, there are some things to know on that end as well. So why don't we take a look at what you need to look for. So for example, on my little Anker 30-watt power supply here, there's a bunch of text on the back that my 49-year-old eyes can't see very well anymore, but you can take a picture of it, and this should give you some ideas to what the capabilities are here. So this little power supply can deliver 5 volts, 9 volts, 15 volts, or 20 volts. But this one also has some new modern features, one of them called PPS, and this allows you to more granularly dial in the voltage. So for example, I could dial in any voltage between 3.3 volts and 11 volts and get 3 amps. I can also dial in between 3.3 and 16 volts and get 2 amps, and those are settings that you can do inside of that web interface. So if you do have a device that's got some weird voltage requirement, if you have a PPS power supply like this, you can dial it in and get it. But not all power supplies have PPS. So for example, this older Kensington power supply can deliver 100 watts of power, but it doesn't support PPS. So here I can only do 5, 9, 15, or 20 volts. And then of course you have to think about the USB-C cable that you're using. There is a helpful guide on the Werewolf site to guide you as to what cables you should be looking for. Now I'm finding some cables are labeling their capabilities on the connector, like this USB 4 cable here, but just because they can print capabilities on a connector doesn't mean they're meeting the standard. So you definitely need to be careful not only with the power supply but also with the cable. Werewolf does sell power supplies and cables that they have tested with their product, which are going to be safer to use than something you might have hanging around in your basket full of wires that we all have sitting around our house. My recommendation is to stick to the name brands, both for power supplies but also for cables. So Kensington, for example, is a good brand. Anker's a good brand. And also look for cables that are made by name brands as well, just so you can have some peace of mind when you're plugging all of this stuff in. There's a lot of convenience that comes from using a USB-C universal power supply, but there are some risks here as well, given how wild the standard is and how some companies just don't meet it because they are just selling the cheapest cable they can get out onto the market. So buyer beware, be cautious, but if you are looking for flexible power delivery options, this is a fun thing to play around with. I've got one more thing to show you here. You know what we're going to do? We're going to hook up a Sega Tower of Power to this Anker power supply. So that's a Sega CD, a 32X, and a Genesis console. Let's see if we can get it all working through this one little power supply here. All right, the Tower of Power is assembled here. I've got my Sega CD, my Sega Genesis, and my 32X. Of note, the Sega CD here uses a 9-volt power supply, but the 32X and the second generation Genesis use 10-volt power supplies. So I've programmed in 2 of the VFLEX adapters at 10 volts, 1 at 9, and connected them all up to the appropriate device here. And the power supply we're using here is that Anker Prime. And so this does support PPS, so it can get 10 volts out to those 2 devices that need 10 and 9 to the one that needs 9. And what I'm going to do here before I fire everything up is pull up the real-time data from the power adapter. It's got this great feature that delivers a power meter to your phone over Bluetooth. And as you can see, we're at 9.9 volts on C1, 10 on C2, and 9 on C3. And why don't we power things up here and see what happens. And it looks like things are booting up, nothing exploded. And I can hit the start button here and start loading from the CD. What I'm playing here is a Sega 32X game off the CD. So we're going to make use of the whole stack here. And you can see the power draw, we're about 10 watts right now as everything is booting up. And it all seems to be working just fine. We've got the voltages now dialed in. So C1 and 2 are at 10 volts each, and C3 is at 9 volts, and this is delivering the power that this system needs right now. And the total capacity of this power adapter is 160 watts, so we're barely scratching the surface of what it can deliver, but we're able to provide clean and useful power here over USB to all of this stuff with a single power adapter versus having those 3 large ones that they required you to use back in its day. So all good stuff here. It seems to be working just fine. Now, Werewolf has some good documentation on their website, so definitely check that out. And overall, I found it to be a very useful device to have in my toolbox here because I've got all sorts of stuff that I need to plug in from time to time, and I can't always find the power adapter, so now I can just dial in what that device needs. I've got plenty of adapters here that came with my starter kit, and I should be good to go for most of what I need to power. You just need to be careful because you are dealing, of course, with the USB standard here, which can be all over the place, but when things are properly configured, as you saw with the Atari and the Sega, things can work really well using modern USB-C power sources. Just be careful with these. You want to make sure that you're checking the voltage before you plug it into a new device because it's very easy to fry something if you've got the voltage set incorrectly before you plug something in. But if you know what you're doing, I think you will find this to be a very useful product that lets you use all of your fun USB power sources with your old and new devices. That will do it for this one. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.